Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Andrew.
Or are you being served?
Yes, it's are you being served Wednesday, which is
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it was shown on a Thursday.
It was shown on a Thursday.
But I suppose I'm going to upload this on a Thursday.
Yes,
So
we don't get
it's
much time on a Thursday, so.
Season 3, Episode 4, 20th of March 1975, Cold Storm. We start with the cleaning ladies doing their cleanings.
And Mr. Mash.
And Mr. Mash.
Doing what Mr. Mash does.
Well, Mr. Mash is attending to the dummies. He seems to like the dummies, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, they don't fight back, do
You
they?
can't get him away from the dummies. And the cleaning ladies are Daphne Ackroyd and Ivy Plunkett, apparently.
Yes.
One of the dummies has got a load of straw down her back.
Yeah, it's been in a packing case, I guess.
I suppose so, but I'm just imagining. So he borrows the
Hoover.
Hoover with the attachment.
And pulls in the nippers off.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure you do that.
I don't know.
Right.
No. You don't want an experiment?
No.
No, right, okay. But, what was it? He says, it's not the first time you've lost your knickers in the tube.
Yes.
Meaning the tube of the...
Yes. Or indeed the London Underground.
Yes. So Mr. Lucas comes in early.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's coming early because he's not staying.
no. But the cleaning ladies take a fancy
Yes,
to
they've
him.
never met
don't
Mr.
they?
Lucas because he's always late and they've already gone.
But was it, Mr. Mash says you're on a promise there if you play your cards right, and Mr. Lucas isn't too keen, I don't think.
No.
Because he's got a bird coming up from the country.
Yes.
Apparently.
Mm.
So is this a posh bird?
Possibly.
Okay.
Or a rusticated bird.
A rusticated bird, is that the word for us country folks?
Possibly.
Yokalised. Rusticated means sent down from Oxford to
Is it?
you've been rusticated.
Okay.
Yes, but
Good word.
he comes in and he's going to claim he's got a cold.
Yes.
Mr. Mash offers him some advice as the best way
Yeah.
to...
Because he says he won't get the time off because Greyfriars never lets you go
No,
home.
they're very harsh when it comes to sending you home. But he says an onion under the arm
And a piece of soap under the tongue.
and chew some soap because it'll make you foam.
Yes.
Um,
Which would just mean you got rabies, but still.
well, that was you'd see posters and public information films for rabies at this time. Mr. Humphries comes in walking. He's all sort of twisted,
Yes,
isn't he?
he's got a bad back.
Apparently, he was watching yoga. And he was trying to see if there were any new positions that he hadn't tried out.
And he got himself into the wrong position.
He got stuck. Yeah. Mr. Granger comes in, and he's got gastric trouble.
Yes.
And he spends the whole of this episode just running to and from the loo.
I think I just kicked them.
You kick the thing.
Sorry.
It's all right. Just everybody's going to veer now watching it. So yeah, Mr. Granger gets a couple of lines and then off to the loo again.
Yes.
So this is just repeated. Mrs. Slocum and Miss Brahms comes in. Mrs. Slocum is sort of turquoisey, isn't she?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a very bright turquoise. It's a weird colour.
And Miss Brahms has had a load of injections.
Yes. She had 7 injections in her derriere
Okay.
to stop her getting
That's
a
not
cold
what
or
she
flu.
calls it.
No.
In me bum.
In her bum, yeah.
Yeah, so because you get flu injections
I do.
free,
I've
don't
never
you?
had one in my bottom though.
No.
I always do it in your arm.
Okay.
Makes your arm ache actually.
Right. But you get them free, don't you?
I do.
Because you've got... What have you got?
Diabetes.
Yeah, so you get free ones.
Yes.
Mrs. Slocum is trying to hold colds at bay. That's it. Last night she had some hot whiskey. She had some brandy
In her milk on her Rice Krispies.
on her Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
And now she's got a flask of rum and pep, as she
Yes.
said. I didn't know what pep was.
No, it's
Because I thought it was like adrenaline and soma from
no.
Blake Seven.
I have heard of it, but I'm not quite sure what it was.
Well, they say peppermints, don't they? So do they mean pepper?
No, because she's been sacking peppermints to hide the smell of the brandy.
Right, okay. But yeah, this trick with the onion in the soap apparently got Mr. Mash
At a D-Day.
off of D-Day. Now there's a customer that Captain Peacock's trying to deal with,
Yeah.
and he's sort of trying to head him in the direction of Mr. Lucas, but every time he tries to attract Captain Peacock's attention, he says, "In a minute, Mr. Lucas," and the customer meanwhile sees him foaming at the mouth.
Yes, he decides he doesn't want
makes
anything
his
after all.
excuses and leaves. Mr. Humphries then just wipes his mouth for him helpfully, and Mr. Lucas ends up swallowing it.
Yes.
So he's not actually feeling too well.
No.
But he's not going home because he ain't got a doctor's certificate.
No.
But then he gets hiccups. So there's a load of silly hiccuping for the next couple of minutes. What was it? Captain Peacock says he don't know what aftershave you're using, but you're coming across as a Lancashire hot pot.
Yes, because he's still got the onion under his arm.
Captain Peacock gets on the phone to Sister, and a load of bubbles start.
Yes.
It's like really
Bubbles
silly.
and hiccups.
Yeah, it's clearly just somebody with a
Yeah.
bubble blower behind the thing. There's a customer in the ladies. What was it? They say she looks cool in blue and she's got a yellow hat on.
Yes, like an iceberg, says Miss Brahms.
Yeah, and
Which is not entirely helpful.
it's got all flowers on it. Flowers are apparently in vogue.
Yes, and other magazines.
And other ladies' magazines. But Mrs. Slocum starts the alterations, sort of pulls.
Yeah, and it all sort of comes away here.
Yeah. And because she's started the alterations, they'll come back a week, Thursday week from the workroom. But yes, Mrs. Slocum is now sneezing, and she's having a nip from her flask, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, it's a very 70s sort of flask, isn't it? Really.
Oh, it's not tartan actually.
No,
but
no.
It's a very 70s flask.
Miss Brahms then gets a face mask thing to put on.
It's not even. I'm not even sure what it is. It's not a face.
It's
mask.
almost like she's got a hanky with
with string.
with string on. I don't know quite what it is. But Sister's taking
Mr. Lucas's
Mr.
temperature.
Lucas's temperature, and she says, "You're normal." To which Mr. Humphreys replies, "Yes, but we're working on it." Now, listeners to the podcast might recognise that as the trailer that was used on the BBC lineup for this episode that night, when they were doing What's On Thursday night. So yeah, that was the clip that was actually used. Yes, Miss Brahms says that her injections cost her £8. Mr. Granger comes in, goes away again.
Yes.
So Sister agrees that she can't be exposed to a cold.
No.
So Miss Brahms goes to gents and Mr. Lucas goes to ladies. Mr. Humphreys refers to Miss Brahms as the Pallone Ranger, which is very round the horn Julian and Sandy sort of thing. Mr. Lucas goes into the changing room in the ladies, and the customer's
still there. Yes.
And she
blue dress.
Screams. Mr. Mash says, of course it hasn't worked because he should have peeled the onion beforehand.
Yes, that's obvious.
Yeah. They have a little discussion about suspender belts, which have got a new catch on them apparently.
Yes.
And Mr. Lucas says he can do it in 8 seconds on a bra, so he has a go on a dummy, but he does it in 6 seconds.
Yes.
But that's because she's not struggling.
Yes.
There you go. So Miss Brahms is looking at the sort of underwear, and she's never heard of jokey shorts.
Jokey short. What a jokey short.
As she calls it. Oh, do you get a lot of jockeys here? Mr. Humphreys says, they're off. And then she wants to know about Y fronts. Are there Y backs?
Yes.
I'd have thought she'd have known some of this, but
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. Mr. Granger comes in, sees Captain Peacock, and rushes off to the loo again. Then Pamela Cundell, Mrs. Fox from Dad's Army, comes in.
Yes. And she's great fun.
And Mr. Lucas deals with her, and well, she enjoys it. I'm not sure he does.
Yeah, she spends a lot of time giggling, doesn't she?
Yeah. She wants to return something she bought yesterday.
Yeah, but she's wearing it.
Yeah, so best Mr. Lucas can do is to
Get it altered.
So he goes and gets a bit of chalk. Mr. Humphrey says you'll need a bigger bit than that, but it's in a. Apparently her derriere droops at the back.
Yes.
So and he ends up dropping his chalk down her skirt, and he's got his hand trapped in there and everything. And
then Mrs. Slocum comes back.
Comes in. There's a line about the London derriere.
Yes.
And that's used in the Carry On film. So that's not an original joke. I don't know. I need to check who did it first. I think it was Carry On films. Mr. Granger's still not free.
No. Somebody's coming for some trousers.
Yes, and
Gordon Peters.
Is it?
Not that Gordon Peters.
Where's he from?
I don't know. I've seen him in stuff before. I
Okay.
think he's one of those people that pops up a lot in the 70s.
But we get the walk this way joke from Mr. Humphries.
Yes.
And Miss Brahms is very scared of doing the. Mr. Humphries can't bend down to do the inside leg.
No.
He can do the waist, but that's as far down as he can get.
Yes.
So Miss Brahms is sort of
She won't do
told,
it.
and
It's not ladylike.
I love this sort of exchange. He says, "What are you afraid of?" And she sort of looks at the floor a bit, and she says, "The unknown."
Yeah.
it's just brilliant,
Yes.
right?
Which would indicate that for her boyfriend,
Yeah.
she's not actually that experienced in the ways of men.
In jokey shorts
And jokey shorts.
and wide
yes.
backs.
Yes.
Mr. Humphries goes and gets an umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Tells the bloke to stand at ease.
Yeah.
He does, and he shoves the umbrella.
And she measures
And
where
she
the
measures
umbrella is.
how high the umbrella reaches up to.
Yes.
Yeah. There's another lady just leaving the ladies, and Mr. Lucas says the night dress will ride up with wear.
Yes.
Mrs. Slocum now, but is very merry
Yes.
because she's been having a real old go on the floor.
On a rum and pep.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Mr. Bash then comes up with the idea of putting a load of slippery polish at the top of
Yeah.
the stairs.
And for Mr. Lucas to fall down.
And he goes,
and-
"Oh dear, I have dropped some slippery polish at the top of the stairs. Someone may slip over and break a leg or something."
Yeah, and he comes in, am I being too subtle for you?
Yeah, Mr. Lucas isn't getting this at all.
He is getting it, he just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, but Mr. Lucas goes to the top of the stairs and falls down. I mean, he does a proper roll, you know.
Yeah.
This is actually Trevor Bannister doing it.
Well, yeah, because there's no way you can get a stuntman to do it.
No.
No way.
But in comes Mr. Rumbold for his only
Yes.
appearance this
Yeah.
episode. Both Mr. Granger and Mr. Rumbold have got a very easy
it's
episode this
The
week.
Granger Rumbold light episode.
But he notices the smell of peppermint and rum.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says Captain Peacock's callous
Mm-hmm.
because Captain Peacock.
Says he can carry on.
Yeah. In comes Mr. Grace being pushed in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
When he hears about Mr. Lucas's ankle or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, he offers him the wheelchair.
Use of a chauffeur.
And he's going to go straight to the hospital for
Oh,
an
an
X-ray,
X-ray.
and then go and see Dr. Garstang,
Yeah.
who is apparently the best in the country. And
Hmm.
Mr. Grace says, "You're all looking very well."
Mm.
Mr. Granger comes in, goes out again, and Mr. Humphrey says, "I'll push a note to you under the door."
Yes.
Roll the end credits. Nothing terribly unusual with the end credits, apart from Mr. Granger is just represented by a shot of the
Bathroom
the
door.
door to the
Yes.
gents.
Yes.
So there we go. But not a bad one, I thought.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's a bit. It's not the best episode,
No, right, no.
and it's not the worst.
No, I
episode.
thought it was
It's a sort of average.
Perfectly acceptable.
Mm.
I like the comment on how callous they are about, not caring. You know,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say even if you can still stand, but
Mhm.
in Mr. Lucas's case, he can't stand. But
No,
they're still quite prepared to
let them stay.
let
yes.
you do a full day's work. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, God knows what you got to do to actually get a day off there, but we should. Although Mr. Granger, didn't he have? There was a line a couple of seasons ago where he wasn't in because he had a bad back or something.
Yeah.
If you remember, a long time
So
ago.
perhaps it's just I don't
So
know.
again, but that's the theme for this episode, isn't it? You know,
Yes,
Mr. Lucas is trying to have it off, and he can't
can't get it.
get it off at all.
Can't get it off. No.
If you'll pardon the expression.
Yes.
But yeah, quite fun.
hmm
But you're looking forward to the next one, aren't
Yes.
you?
The next one is one of my absolute favourites.
Which is?
It's German Week.
Oh, we'll see
Yes.
that then. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.